Hello students, today we're going to go over notes for 2.3 in Algebra 2. We're going to start off by defining what a parent function is. A parent function is the most basic function in a family. So there's different families of graphs, and each family of graphs will have a parent. For linear functions, the parent is f of x equals x, otherwise known as y equals x. For this graph, our y-intercept is 0, 0. So we plot a point at 0, 0. And then our slope would be a 1 that you could put in front of that x. So that means from 0, 0, I go up 1 over 1, and I continue that pattern. I also want to go down and back to continue it the opposite direction. Then I'll draw a line with arrows through it. Slope-intercept form of a line is what we have most often seen, and that's y equals mx plus b, where m is slope and b is y-intercept. So we're going to use some equations in slope-intercept form, and we're going to graph from them. So for this first one, the y-intercept is 0, 3. It's coming from that plus b. And our slope is the negative 2 over 5. So I start by plotting 0, 3. And then negative 2 over 5, notice I only made one of the numbers negative. You don't make both negative. The negative number means instead of going up, which we would normally do, we're going to go down. The 5 is positive, so we're still going to go to the right. So coming from that y-intercept, I'm going to go down to right 5. Since I can't continue again on that side, I'm going to go back to my y-intercept, and I'm going to go up 2 and back 5. And then I draw a line through this graph with arrows on both ends. So describing the steps in words that you use to graph. First, we plot 0, 3. Then we fall 2 and run 5 units. Then plot a point. And then from there we continue the pattern. And then draw a line with arrows. In the next example, we're going to graph the function and then compare it with the parent. So for this first one, y equals negative 2x. There's no plus a number here, so that means our y-intercept is 0, 0. The negative 2 means our slope is negative 2 over 1. So I go down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. I can also go up 2 and back 1. And then draw my line with arrows. Comparing it to the parent. So the parent is the f of x equals x. Notice we have different slopes, because the slope of the line we just drew was negative 2, but the slope of the parent is 1. But they had the same y-intercept. For the next one, we have y equals x minus 1. So our y-intercept is 0, negative 1. So I'm going to plot a point at negative 1. And then our slope is 1. So from my y-intercept, I'm going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, and continue the pattern. I can also go down 1 and back 1. I draw a line with arrows. So the difference between this and the parent is there's different y-intercepts, but we have the same slope. Next, we are going to go over the standard form of a line. So for standard form, it's ax plus by equals c. where A, B, and C are integers. So for this, you want to start by finding the x-intercept, which is where the graph intersects the x-axis and has a y-coordinate of 0. For the y-intercept, the graph intersects the y-axis and has an x-coordinate of 0. So to graph using standard form, I'm going to find the x-intercept by making y 0. So 2x plus 3 times 0 equals 12. So I get 2x equals 12. If I divide by 2 on both sides, I get x equals 6. So my x-intercept is 6, 0. To find the y-intercept, I'm going to make x 0. So I do 2 times 0 plus 3y equals 12. 2 times 0 is 0, so I have 3y equals 12. Divide both sides by 3 to get y equals 4. So my y-intercept is 0, 4. So describing in words, describe the steps in words that you use to graph. We first found the x-intercept. Then we found the y-intercept. Okay, then we are going to plot those. So 6, 0 is on the x-axis, 0, 4 is on the y-axis. So we plot the points and then connect with a line and arrows. Now it says, is there another method to graph this equation? You could rearrange into slope-intercept form and then graph. And really it's personal preference on which you would prefer to do. So the last thing we're going to go over here is horizontal lines and vertical lines. So remember, horizontal lines are like the horizon. They go from left to right. They are in the form y equals a number. Vertical lines go up and down, and they are x equals a number. So for this first one, x equals -4, that means we're going to go to -4 on the x-axis, and it's a vertical line going up and down. You could also think of it as if you make an xy table, all your x's are -4s. And you can pick numbers for your y's, -1, 0, 1, 2. You would plot those points and notice that you still get the vertical line. If you wanted to use the xy table for y equals 3, for y, you would make all your y's 3. And then you would pick numbers of your choosing for x, and then you could plot those points if you didn't remember that it was a horizontal line. So if you plotted these, -1, 3, left 1, up 3, 0, 3, you just go up 3, then right 1, up 3 for 1, 3. You would continue this, and notice it creates a horizontal line. That's it for today. If you have any questions, be sure to contact your teacher.